Wow, there we go. Well,
There you go. It takes just a minute.
okay. All right, we'll call tonight's meeting of the City of Bethlehem Planning Commission to order now with our welcome statement. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Bethlehem Planning Commission. I'm Matt Malozzi. I'm vice chair of the commission, subbing for our chair, Robert Molosky, who's unable to join us this evening. We ask now that everyone please turn off their cell phones or put them on silent at this time. We will proceed through today's projects as they're listed on the agenda. The applicant will have a chance to present their project to the commission as the agenda item is called. And following that presentation, city staff will provide an overview of the city's comments and a recommendation. Then the planning commission members will have an opportunity to direct questions related to the project to both the applicant and city staff. Following planning commission discussion, interested parties will have an opportunity to comment on or ask questions related to the project. All interested parties will be asked to give their name and address for the record. They shall also sign their name, address, and email address on the sign-in sheet provided. We will adhere to a 5-minute time limit for each member of the public, and each person will have one opportunity to speak. We ask that all comments be related to the project proposal under review, and that all comments be related to the land use issues of the project. When there are a significant number of interested parties, we request that members of the public be concise in their testimony and avoid repeating previously made assertions. After all interested parties have had an opportunity to speak, the Planning Commission members will have a final opportunity to deliberate on the project. The review of the Planning Commission is based on the provisions of the Subdivision and Land Development Ordinance, the Zoning Ordinance, and other municipal ordinances as applicable. Discussions will be based on these applicable ordinances, the recommendations of the city's professional staff, pertinent public comment, and the public good. Now I'd like to call the first item on the agenda, which is the approval of minutes from our August and September meetings. But having reviewed the various permutations of commissioners who are in attendance, I believe that we do not have a quorum to take action on either
On either
the
one?
August or the September meeting minutes. So unless I'm incorrect, we'll table that item.
Okay,
And we'll go for the hat trick in November.
okay.
All right. All right. That brings up sketch plan review, item number 2. And this is a sketch plan review of proposed project at 608 Pierce Street. And again, since it's a sketch plan, the commission will not be taking formal action tonight. We'll just be commenting on items relating to general traffic layout and compatibility of the proposal with the surrounding area. And at this time, we'll turn it over to the applicants. If you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself and present your project.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dallas Basha. I'm one of the managers of the ownership of 608 Pierce Street. And we are excited by putting together a new project in the South Bethlehem area. And I'm excited to introduce Christine Nestler, who will share in great detail the architectural drawings as well as our overall plan for this site, and happy to answer any questions along the way.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christine Nestler. Actually, I don't have the architectural drawings here. I wasn't aware that I needed them today. So I hope not a problem. But I can describe the plans that we've been developing. Dallas Basha had the intent with this site has been to work within the zoning regulations. So we've tried to accommodate all the parking that would be needed. That was actually a comment on one of the comments, and we will be sure that that does meet all zoning codes for parking. This would be 5 attached single-family homes. They are intended to be used for students. The architecture is 2.5 stories, so we're trying to be compatible with the neighborhood. The design, I think, is I'll call it transitional in the sense that it's somewhat between the sort of historic context and a little bit more of a modern take on some of the window types and materials. But the intent here is really to fit within the neighborhood. One of the other comments that I noted in the comments were the trees. And I know that was not fully addressed in this set. Dallas has been trying very hard to keep at least the one large Thank you, magnolia tree. And we've done a lot of gymnastics to keep that. Some of the other larger trees really won't be able to with the regrading that needs to be done, but the intent will be to replace trees that have to come out with new trees. I'm not sure what else you know to comment on at the time. Dallas, do you have anything?
No, that was well put, and happy to answer any questions that you may have on the project.
Thank you. Ms. Heller, would you like to present from the city's comment letter?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to add. You can see there's a sort of a Google Map version of the existing conditions there. And, there's a question about the compatibility, the parking requirement, but otherwise the project does meet the zoning requirements for density and dimensions and things like that. It is in the student housing overlay zone. It is a sketch plan review, so it's not drawn to full, engineering standards, but there were really no other significant comments.
And I believe that the engineer has reviewed those comments and feels that we can comply with most of the comments there. They would be addressed.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, questions, comments? This is an opportunity for us to sort of set the table for when this project comes back as a full land development application.
Do you want to comment?
Ms. Cohen?
The one thing I do like to see when you come back is the color renderings of the elevations of the building.
Yep.
So we can see that it's compatible with the scale of the surroundings, and also that it's architecturally detailed. It's not just a plain facade
You'll get that.
thing.
I concur that'll be important. And then question, did you state how many bedrooms per unit?
5 bedrooms per unit.
5, okay, so that's as called out in the, I probably missed that on the plan. I see it in the letter though. Okay. And then so all the units will be front facing on Packer Avenue, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, with 0 setbacks, so there'll be, the treatment will be front door right to sidewalk, which looking across the street, because at this point we're just looking at context, it looks like there's a mixture. There might be a residential and then garage across Packer, so as far as that goes, no problem there. And then the parking spaces, I assume, will be front in and then back out onto Park Hill Street. Is that how that'll work?
That's right.
Which again, Park Hill looks more like a utility. It looks like parking garages and parking lots on the other side, so that would be compatible with that as well, it appears.
That's what we're thinking.
Okay, great.
So they're individual units, or is this going to be? I'm concerned about the dumpster pad. Is there a dumpster pad, or is every?
And that I'm not aware of the decisions on that.
Yeah, we would most likely opt for a traditional trash bin per unit, and it would be within the next submission. We'll outline where that would be located, but we wouldn't have a commercialized dumpster. At least that's the intent.
How about bike racks? Bicycle.
I would love to include a bike rack as well to promote that type of activity amongst the community. So hopefully we can include that in the next submission as well.
And
Is it the step? Is it the elevation from the parking different than? I see you have the steps going up there. What is that?
Yeah, so there is a grade difference from Park Hill. So Park Hill is, I'll say, relatively level. If you're looking at the drawing right now, sort of from right to left, it slopes slightly down. And then as you go down Packer, we have a slightly more significant slope. So the attached homes will have a slight stepping to them, And to make it easier to get down to the backyard from the parking, we have a couple of sets of steps planned. And that wall height does vary from right to left. And we're trying to make it so there's not a lot of wall sticking out. And that I know is one of the other comments that we need to address, is what that wall will look like. And it's definitely something that the owner and I are interested in greening in some fashion.
What will be the use of the existing building?
That currently has a apartment unit in it on the second and third floor, which will be retained as an apartment unit. And the first floor was a commercial use, and Dallas can back me up, but it will be a small commercial use with Dallas's business and an open gym area for the people living in the homes.
Thank you. And this is RT, but it's grandfathered in the commercial use on the first floor?
Yes, it's been there for a long time.
Okay. Good. Any other questions from the commission? No? Okay. Are there any members of the public that would like to address the commission on this application, the sketch plan? Seeing none. Okay. I'd like to point out it's well served by transit about 3 blocks away on East 4th Street. So there's bike racks on those buses too. All right. Okay. Those are the items that we can offer at this time for when you're back, hopefully. But otherwise, appreciate the compatibility and not trying to do too much with the parcel and leaving the existing structure, which I assume it's not historic. It's certainly old.
It's beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
And it has some beautiful interiors, so that will be preserved.
Great. So it's a bit of an infill project then on the existing lots. Okay.
And you want us to sign in over on the table there? A sign in? You know who we are. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So no formal action or anything. We just leave it at or we can. In the past, have we made a motion to incorporate the comments of the letter? Or?
Sometimes you've made a motion just to show that there's consensus about whether or not you support the comments that are in here, or do you have additional comments you want to make? Or, you've pretty much made comments as a part of the discussion, but I don't know if you want to memorialize any of that. We can do that in the minutes.
Okay. Any strong feelings about that? We'll just allow it to stand in the minutes. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
good luck.
Thank you,
We look
everyone,
forward
for
to
your
seeing you
time.
back.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we'll take just a moment to allow the next applicant time to set up. And that will be a land development plan review for 1610 Spillman Drive, which is a proposed hotel use. Mr. Bowl, when you're ready.
How you guys doing tonight? Long
well.
time no see, right?
Take your
All right.
time. The Phillies don't play till 8.
Oh, that's right. First pitch 8:05, right? Anyhow, thank you for allowing us to give you present this project to you. If you see up on top of the board or on your screen, the project's located at 1610 Spillman Drive, or also known as Lot 9B and LVIP 7 Industrial Park redevelopment subdivision. What's being proposed is a 98 guest room true hotel by Hilton on the subject parcel. And there will be no new access points. We will be utilizing the existing access point that's on the common property line with lot 9, which is a Candlewood Suites, existing Candlewood Suites hotel. We are proposing 93 spaces with 14 of them being designated as compact vehicles and 4 ADA spaces. Also included in those spaces are going to be 2 EV spaces that are on the east side of the hotel building. And then we are proposing to connect to all the existing utilities located within Spillman Drive or already on the lot. There's electric, water, storm sewer, sanitary sewer, all on our site. We just got to go out to Spillman to connect to the water, I should say. But all the communications and all that is presently on site when LVIP 7 was developed. We are, for the landscape design, we are proposing to plant 34 trees, 120 shrubs, and 425 perennials or ground cover. We are in receipt of the city's comment letter dated October 3rd, and we feel that we can address and comply with all the comments that are within that letter. In fact, I met with the city engineer yesterday about some of the comments pertaining to the ADA ramps at Lynn Street and Spillman, and our client has agreed to make those compliant with the current ADA regulations. So we also received Lehigh Valley Planning Commission approval back on August 2nd. The planning module has been submitted to the DEP, and we're awaiting that approval letter. That should be by any day now or by the end of the month. I reached out to the DEP, and that should be forthcoming. And I also brought elevations of the building, so that's what's going to be constructed there. And I think this is the same rendering as you guys have in PDF format. So that's about it. It's just another hotel right next to an existing hotel in LVIP 7 Industrial Park.
Thank you, Mr. Bowl. From the city side, Darlene, anything you want to highlight in the letter?
Well, I just will note under traffic, sometimes we have required in some areas along 412 and in other areas of the city that we'll wait till 6 months or so after a development's been occupied, and then traffic coordinator would ask for a follow-up traffic study to make sure that the impacts aren't greater than what were actually anticipated. So that's one of the things that are called out here. Most of the other comments, honestly, they're pretty straightforward. I did look in our prior letter. This did go to, project did go to Lanta for comment, and also to the EAC. So, their comments were acknowledged in here.
And in fact, I think the Lanta was actually supportive of how we had to access the sidewalk access through our site.
Yeah, sometimes they comment not just on the location of the transit stops or the shelters, but also how do transit riders walk to and from. So they'll take a look at the walking paths along the interior of the property as well. And that's really the basis of the bulk of Molly's comment here, or Lanta's comment here.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Is like keeping with that subject, is there presently a stop on the northern portion of the property? Is there
I
anything?
believe there is one on Spillman Street. I don't know, Spillman Drive rather, but I don't know exactly where that is located off the top of my head. I want to say it might be on the other side of the road.
I think there's that would be the westbound.
Yeah, westbound where they used to have the call center across the street.
Okay.
I can, if you want me to, she says here that Lanta currently provides public transportation directly to the project site with an eastbound bus stop ID 6351 located directly on the property frontage of Spillman Drive, far side of the Lynn Avenue intersection, and near side to the existing main driveway entrance to the hotel complex. So it is there on Spillman Drive.
Yes, on the property, it serves the property.
Along our frontage up.
Yes.
Yes, that would be the eastbound
Eastbound, yeah. If
stop,
you come,
heading towards Hellertown, yeah.
yes.
Okay, would that be, does that remain? I didn't see it on the record plan, any indication there.
We're not touching anything outside the existing curb line. So I think that's bus stop is just a sign that's at the sidewalk.
Okay,
So we're not proposing to change anything there.
so that would presumably remain if it's not being removed.
Correct. It will remain.
Thank you for clarifying. I did notice the site is already served well with sidewalk existing around the site, and the layout internally does a nice job of providing safe access for pedestrians north and south throughout the property. So I appreciate that.
And we were trying to access the intersection of 4th Street and Lynn Street with our sidewalk. So in anticipation of some of the guests going across the street to the fast food or Sheets.
Taco Bell, Sheets.
Yes.
And what, I mean, that's where the existing post-development traffic study is centered on, right? I mean, I guess, is this location different from the one that we've already approved?
What do you mean?
Well, there's,
There's a hotel there that we already approved,
Right.
and this is for this site here.
but for the pad sites,
They're across the street.
yeah, but,
Yes.
right. And we have, as part of that approval, the post-development traffic study.
Sometimes we do that. It's really not something that our office typically weighs in on. It's based on, I believe, whether or not there's some variant in the expected amount of traffic generation.
No, I'm saying, but yeah, but we've done, no, I mean, but we are requiring the study.
For this intersection.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's a different, okay, so
Yeah.
it's the one over, okay.
It's east of
All
there.
right, yeah, that was my question. I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure if it was the same one or not. Okay.
Right.
This is just one to the west. Okay.
Because for these properties to the south, there's a rear drive, and then they come in and out from a
They-
central.
They can come through, ironically enough, I know that site pretty well. There's a entrance on Lynn Street, and then there's what's called the reverse frontage road or backbone, and that traverses all the way from Shimersville all the way up to the most westerly lot which is the lot adjacent to the Taco Bell. Right now, where the cursor is, that's where the Sheets is going to go, and to the left of the right in and the right out, that's going to be a Taco Bell there. And I presume there's going to be another restaurant to the left of there, but I'm not 100% sure yet. That's why we put our sidewalk tying into that intersection of Lynn and 4th Street. So people can walk across the crosswalk there to go to Sheets or Taco Bell.
Yeah, he's just talking about in this.
Mhm. Do you have a concern with the traffic study requirement?
No, I don't. I was uncertain about where the intersection was versus the other one, if they were the same or different. I just had the recollection of us doing this before. Okay. And you're okay with that comment, number one under traffic, that you'll prepare the post-development
Yeah, we'll do.
study? Okay.
Because I think you had that requirement for Sheets, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and if it's only if there's a variant in the amount of predicted traffic. Yeah.
And they'll be the ones, because with the Sheets, it was LBIP because there were a number of like parcels involved.
Well, there's, more than one developer.
Okay.
So they, LVIP is willing to take responsibility for that.
That's fine.
All right. Any other questions from the commission? Comments? No?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. Please proceed.
Mr. Malozzi mentioned about the pedestrian traffic through the site. I applaud you on a good job with the existing sidewalks and also transversing through the site to that corner location. On the dumpster location, it refers to a detail that we don't have the section for. Is
on-
that an enclosed dumpster?
Oh, yes, it's an enclosed and is going to be stone veneer, similar to what's being proposed on the first level of the hotel there. It's on our sheet 16.
And then landscaped around it, I believe.
Yes.
I saw. Thank you. And can you talk about the materials on the building itself?
It's a stone veneer and ephes above that.
Okay.
And with different colors, but basically it's a stone veneer on the first floor, and then above that is ephes material.
Both the dark and light finishes?
Yes.
Okay. And the lower elevation on the sheet, the bottom elevation is the front entrance to the,
That is
where you would pull
yeah,
in
that
if
would be
you were-
facing Lynn Street.
if you were registering, that would be. where
Correct.
you-
That's the main entrance there.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from the commission? No? No? All right. Is there anyone, members of the public here that would like to comment on this application? Seeing none. Then at this time, we will entertain. Oh,
I met with Andy a couple of days
Yesterday.
yesterday. And as for traffic, there's the crosswalk on Lynn
Lynn and Spillman.
and then on Spillman. They agreed that they will not upgrade, but they will repaint those cross.
Yeah, if you look over,
They were damaged.
Let me
during
use
the
this.
construction.
the ones that go across the existing,
Those
Drive.
are
Yes.
Lynn Avenue and Spillman.
Okay, but they can't. That's why we're using these screens here.
I'm trying to. Oh,
Zoom
that-
in on
if you zoom
Spillman
in-
and
The intersection.
yeah, or
of-
there,
of,
those.
yeah.
Those two.
Okay.
crosswalks.
Yes, there you go.
They will be repainted after completion of the construction.
and that was acceptable to the applicant?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Any further comment? No? All right. And at this time, we will accept a motion on the land development application at 1610 Spillman Drive. Anyone care to?
I'd like to make a motion
Ms. Cohen?
to approve the land development plan for 1610 Spillman Drive land development from the drawings dated August 21st, 2023, contingent upon satisfactorily meeting the requirements of the city letter dated October 3rd, 2023, and the engineer's requirement for repainting the crosswalks at Lynn and Spillman.
Thank you, Ms. Cohen. Do we have a second? Second. Second. All right. Any further comment or discussion on this application? If not, then may we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Malozzi?
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thanks. Good luck with your project.
Have a great evening.
Brings our last agenda item up, which is discussion items. Is there anything to be brought before the commission?
Craig has copies of the submissions for upcoming Planning Commission agenda items. It has not changed in the last 2 weeks. So this is the same as what we discussed at your September meeting, because we held a meeting very late in the month in September. So it's a little early to know what's actually coming up for your November meeting, but we haven't had any new submissions in the last couple of months. So Well,
And we would expect Pier Street back. Looks like they have a December expiration unless they extend.
yes, now usually, depending how plans go, we'll do a review. And sometimes the comments are fairly lengthy, so there'll be a second review before we actually have it presented to you. So it could be a couple of months till you actually see that as a land development.
Any questions, commissioners?
Yes, sir.
Anything else? No? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion to adjourn.
Parker, second? All right. Thank you very much.